Time check is exactly 3:15 on the dot, and you're still tuned into the switch here with me, Charlize, holding it down all the way until 6 p.m. tonight. Now, that was David Guetta featuring Asha with Ouchie. Now, with that said, I did let you guys know that we will be having a special guest in studio today. If you guys could please let me welcome Immanuel Nghifikwa, who is not only a poet but also a writer, amongst many, many, many other things. Welcome, Immanuel.
Thank you very much for having me.
How are you doing today? How's your Friday?
I'm doing very fine, No complaints.
Yeah, okay, yes. That is always good to hear. Now, Immanuel recently published his self-help book entitled Top Brilliant Secrets. Now, Immanuel, is there any particular event or experience that prompted you to write this book?
Wow, that's a wonderful question indeed. What really prompted me to drop the ink on the paper and have Top Brilliant Secrets is that, when I was 14, I lost my dad, who I considered to be the most loving and caring person I knew. So then, after a few years, I realized that, I was traumatized by the death of my dad.
Okay.
Of which I spent so much time just, dwelling in the past and just, trying to fathom and comprehend what really happened. So after that, I realized that I was traumatized by the death of my dad. And there was a time that, I asked myself a question that, Immanuel, will you stay like this for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
And my answer was a resounding no. Then I started working on myself. I started conducting extensive research on how to heal and how to return back my peace of mind. Then let me say, if I happen to come across just something like, meditation can help you to take back control of your life. I'll start meditating. Through meditating for so long, I decided to make that a principle and then put it into Brain Secrets because I've tested it.
And
it worked.
And it works. Okay, that is absolutely lovely. Okay.
Because, the initial idea was not to become an author and be celebrated as an author.
Right.
So the main idea was to pen down the information that can help out people out there. And these are my principles. These are the principles that I still wake up to. So it's not just a matter of writing to others. It's a matter of me having fundamental key principles that I can lean on when I feel the need for support, comfort, and insight. Because it's so funny that, when you find yourself in a difficult space, it's very difficult to really find the solution. How to cope in that situation. So for you to have fundamental principles that are already there, where you can just go straight and say, you know what, so I'm not feeling myself today, let me just read.
So all 100 of them you've tested and you have approved.
Of course, to be
okay, because sometimes people would write things or they would sell certain ideas and then they themselves didn't actually go through it.
So for me, it's quite different because I've tested them out, and the good part, they speak to the human nature.
Yeah.
Whatever stage you are in your life, those principles can help you out. Because at the end of the day, even if you are at a certain level, you experience space of anxiety, you might have traumas and all of those kind of things. So it's a good idea to have really principles that you can lean on as appropriate.
Okay. Now, while writing the book, is there anything that you discovered about yourself or you learned about yourself while putting this whole book together?
I just discovered my supernatural talent, that writing is my talent, playing around with words is my talent, and I embrace it wholeheartedly. And I'm just encouraging people out there, go out there and discover your talent. So don't tell me that you don't know how to play soccer when you didn't try to kick the ball.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. No, that makes so much sense. Have you always been interested in self-help books, or is it something that recently came to you?
My whole life, I've been looking up to motivational things. When you find me scrolling on social media, so what I'm looking at, just looking for motivational stuff. You find so many people saying that, social media can destroy you. You should control that social media.
Exactly.
Of course, there are so many people you are being fed, but go the intentional.
Exactly.
For me, I have been going there for motivational things, things that are uplifting and all of those kind of things. So I have been reading so many things related to self-help because, I'm that particular person who is willing and eager to develop myself.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And lastly, so what advice would you give to people, not only that would probably love to write a self-help book one day, but publish their work, whichever work it might be, whether it's poetry, whether it's fiction, non-fiction. What advice would you give to those people out there? And mind you, I'm one of those people because I love writing. I love writing, and eventually one day I want to publish something, whether it's a photography book or a fictional thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what advice would you give to us?
So, well, I just want to encourage you that, if you feel like that writing is your thing, man, to indulge yourself into that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just do something because people are doing it. Do something that you know that you are passionate about. So, and when it comes to the process of publishing, it's quite a complex and subtle journey.
I was gonna ask you.
It's tiring, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. Mm-hmm. And I just want to encourage people out there, whatever you are doing in life, so do it without overthinking how hard it is. And the moment you will realize that it was hard, you are already done with it. The fact remains that nobody will take you to the top of the mountain. You have to push yourself.
Exactly.
Just not a matter of being at the bottom, looking upward, admiring the top view, but you are not really embracing the whole process. You have to have the process. Like for me, I'm that particular person who don't complain. If I feel like this is what I want to do, and I'm passionate about it, and I'm not stepping on somebody's foot, I'm gonna do it without complaining.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you guys heard it from the horse's mouth. That was Immanuel Nghifikwa, who wrote a self-help book. Now, if you guys are interested, where can we find the book?
Wow, that's quite an important question. So, to bring secrets is available worldwide in more than 13 major book retailers around the globe.
Okay.
We are talking about Amazon, Lulu, Kobo, Barnes and Noble, just to mention but a few. To bring secrets is available in two formats.
Okay.
Paperback and ebook version.
Okay.
When I'm talking about paperback, we are talking about a physical copy. So, and when I'm talking about ebook, it's digital. If you, wherever you are in the world, you want to indulge yourself into this transformational book, so you can buy it on Amazon and other platforms.
Okay.
But if you are in Namibia, you can call me on 081 34 90 748, 081 34 90 748, and get your signed copy and start experiencing a new life of self-love, growth, happiness, and productivity.
That is lovely. Social media, perhaps?
So on social media, just Immanuel Nghifikwa.
Okay.
Immanuel Nghifikwa. You find me on IG, Facebook, and also I have a YouTube channel.
Ooh, there you guys already got all the information you need to check out the book if you're into self-help books, if you want to better your writing also. If you have questions for the author himself, he did say you're going to get a signed copy if you do call him. So do check the book out. Immanuel, thank you so much for coming and thank you so much for joining us and also telling us about your book.
Thank you very much for hosting me, and thank you very much for creating a platform so that stories like mine spread the wings to the right people.
You're most welcome. Yes. Now with that said, we have come to the end of our interview for today. We're getting right back into the music because this is NUST FM, and then when we do come back, we'll be coming back with our question of the day.